Hi guys, good morning. It's S3 Motorworks on YouTube, Scott, and just wanted to show you guys what I've been working on this week and what's going on. Excuse me, sorry, too much coffee tonight. It's early in the morning here. It's still hot too, very hot in Vegas. It was about 106 today. It's 86 right now in the garage, about 19% humidity, and about the same temp but higher humidity outside just because of the pool and the patio cover out there. But anyway, this is Tamiya's 135th Wehrmacht Tank set, 35th scale. I've been working on these guys. I've been hyper detailing them actually. I did. They came with headphones, so I dressed them up and I actually did the throat microphones shown, or my representation of some of the wiring and the throat microphones and how they might fit along these guys. Hopefully you can see them over here. Move this stuff in the back so maybe we can get a better view at them. But anyway, there they are. Hope you can see some of those guys. They're quite neatly detailed, and I'll see if I can pull one of them up here and show you guys that everything's actually removable right now. It's been so hot out here. I actually built them yesterday, worked on them late into the night, and then I was like, you know what, I want to try the wiring and stuff on there because I've never done it before. So I broke out my tiny drills and I've got some pre-cut. They're little collars of the smallest brass that I have in my scrap box out of there. Basically just fitted it with that and some 20,000 wire, and this is what I came up with. So I've got 1, 2, 3 headphones, and this is the final set of bone mic for the one figure that I don't have built here. I built the other 7 the other night, but some of these guys are just like crazy detailed. These two dudes down here on the map, these guys are neat standalones, so I wasn't going to muck them up with any wiring, but they're really, really neat. And this guy right here, I don't know if I turn in the right direction or not, if you guys can see the detail within like his tunic where it hangs down on his chest. All of these guys kind of have that up here. There's a couple of them. The driver is absent of it. This guy has it, I'm fairly certain. This one, I think he does too. He definitely does, and he also does. But it's very, very cool. They're really neatly detailed. But anyway, that's my hyper detailing of these guys. They're a really fun build. I'm looking forward to painting them. If there's any painting going on out here on my bench, it will be done from my wet palette because it's just not right, not even for primer. But anyway, you can kind of see what I mean here. See how these guys look real flat when they're on the sprue and they don't look very good? I was real underimpressed and underwhelmed when I saw them, and it looks like Tamiya has taken the time to hollow out some of these, which was actually neat because it actually allowed me to get a ball bearing in the ass half of both of these jokers when I was putting their legs together, so it gives them a little bit of weight because they're both on the single knee right there, so that's kind of a neat little thing. The other thing you might notice is they've added these little collective arm positioning points, which sort of help you get it in there. The heads are pretty decent. To me, the detail, it's a little soft, but it's not horrible. But then again, what is and what isn't these days. But anyway, those are my Wehrmacht guys, and I've been having a lot of fun with them. And let's see, what else did I want to talk to you guys about? Oh yeah. Did we already do? No, we couldn't have. I'm not that much of a gel, am I? That's ridiculous. This is ICM's 124th Seal Fighter. This is the biggest figure I've ever worked on. The fins, I made a start fins, this snorkel piece, The rubber on the rebreather, that's all vinyl, and this guy's very decently detailed for an ICM kit. I think he's very, very neatly detailed, but as you can see, he's very, very complex. I only have the torso mounted right now, left and right arm. The torso itself, his main weapon, this is a 3-piece PFD, which I still have to figure out how it's going to go together on here, plus all the other buckets and pieces. His leg knife. The rest of his fingers for the wraparound trigger on the M4 here. The other hand. His land nav GPS device, his sidearm. You know, he's pretty complex. And then there's still a whole array. There's probably at least a dozen more buckles that make up his gun strap, the stuff that finishes bolting his PFD together, the regulatory or the regulators for his quick breather bottles. There's all kinds of neat stuff on here. The real challenge with this and why I bought it is that he's all black, just like in the picture, and it's going to be difficult to keep 62 shades of black interesting, but I'm going to try. So anyway, there he is. So lastly, just wanted to hit you guys real quick with what I have done on my aircraft revetment, which is not much, but here it is. The only thing I did do was I actually finished my test wood burn of the Nazi symbology that I wanted to brandish on the side right here, and I think how it's going to work out probably best is just to do it more or less centered on this wall, and I may do one side again so I can show just a touch of the swastika on there with part of the, at least part of the breastiture and the wing showing on the eagle, and then I'll probably do like a full eagle so I can see the head just below the crest, which will just show just the top portion of the wreath here. So anyway, again, my biggest concern with this is trying to do it tastefully. And I did make a little bit of progress, not much though, on my little challenge coin thing. It's still blank on the other side, and I still haven't figured out exactly what I'm going to write on there, but I'm working on it. But anyway, this is a piece in progress. This is a lot more disturbing for me to do and to carve than this was. I think with this guy, what I'm eventually going to do, as you can see, I did it on 3 individual planks of balsa just to practice and tape them together. But I'm gonna piece that across here later and see how it pans out. And then I think I'm just going to get my soldering iron and, quite honestly, just hit through the top portions of this already thinned out balsa wood that I've pretty much already gone through and try to give it a scorch effect. Which exactly, if you see all this, that's all I did with the soldering iron tip. I was just practicing putting some wood grain in, just sort of almost just like you see my hand doing right here. I was almost just doing it like a violin. I was using the sleeve and not the actual burner on the tip, but the the heat sink around it at the tip of my soldering iron. So I achieved some neat little effects there. And actually, if you're really quick with it and are really watching what the wood is doing, you can actually color the wood. It's pretty cool. But anyway, that's where I've been at with my aircraft revetment, and that's pretty much all we're going to talk about with that. Last thing, I did promise you guys I was going to look at this POS 70 Baldwin Motion AMT kit Chevy. I bought this thing last week. I got it cheap at Michael's. Instructions, they're AMT instructions, what can I say? It's amazing what a kit actually breaks down to when you get all that crap off the sprues. There's the chassis. This is extremely hard plastic. The glass is mediocre at best. That's the suspension and other bits and bobs for it, and that is about it. The motor, etc., etc. decals, I'm not really worried about it, and I'm honestly not sure what color I'm gonna do this thing, and I haven't even looked at the decals yet. So, but anyway, just wanted to give you guys a quick sneak peek at that. It's gonna take some work to make it look good, but I'm willing to give it a shot. So we'll see how much time I pour into it. The last thing that I want to talk to you guys about is that it's roughly just over 2 years since I started modeling again, and I started modeling again, kind of like I discussed in the last video, for several reasons, but mostly I wanted a creative outlet. And over the last 2 years, I've done a lot of stuff. Some of it was complex for me because I was starting out again. I had a base set of skills from many years ago, but I hadn't practiced them in a long time. And so anyway, all the kits that I built for the last 2 years, basically I boxed them up, and I'm going to take them and I'm going to Goodwill them. I'm probably going to take some to my hobby store part-time job on Tuesday and give them away to some needy kids or something. Maybe give a kid a thrill. Who knows? But anyway, the reason I'm getting rid of them, I've already archived them, and I have pictures of the ones that I wanted to show. Most of them, even though I did pour a lot of work into them, they've served their purpose for me. They were practice models, and that's exactly how I have to treat them. I don't have the storage room to move on with them anymore. There are other things that I wanted to work on, and segueing into that is one of the reasons why I did what I did, was that I had an awful lot of projects going on out here which were unfinished, and I just kept starting. And I want to be more on a pace of finishing things so that I can show them to you guys rather than all this half-ass stuff that's half finished and looks really cool, but I never get around to finishing. Because I enjoy that creative aspect of it. So anyway, I purged all that stuff because it was a mojo zapper for me. So the 70 Camaro, you probably won't see again for a year. I don't know. I am going to keep a couple of small projects going on the sides in between, but the very next one I'm going to start with as soon as I finish all this swastika stuff on this build is that BF-109G Erva. So anyway, that is my bench update from Saturday night. Stay cool. It's in Vegas, and it is hot here, guys. So if you're coming out or if you're traveling this weekend, water up. Water up. If you're bringing animals, be extra careful with them. It's hot as hell. Okay? Be cool. Peace out, brothers and sisters, and model on. Later.